What if I told you that the same cosmic forces present at your birth could unlock the secrets to healing generations of family pain? That your birth chart holds the blueprint not just for who you are, but for understanding the deep, often invisible patterns that have been passed down through family lines for decades, maybe even centuries. Today, we're diving deep into one of astrology's most transformative applications, using your birth chart to break old family patterns and heal wounds that may have been festering in your bloodline long before you were even born. Hey, beautiful souls, I'm Sino, and this is Cosmic Blueprints Astrology, where we explore how the stars can guide us towards our highest healing and potential. Family wounds run deep. We've all experienced them in some form. The critical parent who never seemed satisfied, the sibling rivalry that never quite healed, the generational trauma that shows up in addiction, anxiety, or relationship patterns that keep repeating no matter how hard we try to break free. Traditional therapy focuses on the psychological aspects of these wounds, and while that's incredibly valuable, astrology offers us something unique, a cosmic perspective that shows us that not just what happened, but why these patterns exist and how we can transform them. Your birth chart is like a cosmic DNA test for your soul's journey. It reveals the karmic contracts you've made with your family members, the lessons you've come to learn together, and most importantly, the keys to healing and transformation that are uniquely yours. Today, we're going to explore three main areas. First, how to identify family wound patterns in your birth chart through specific houses, aspects, and planetary placements. Second, we'll dive into the karmic astrology of family relationships, understanding soul contracts and generational patterns. And finally, I'll give you practical techniques for using this knowledge to actively heal and transform these dynamics. So grab your birth chart. You can get a free one at astro.com if you don't have yours yet. And let's begin this journey of cosmic healing together. So we begin with the astrological anatomy of family wounds. Let's start by understanding where family dynamics show up in your birth chart. Astrology gives us a detailed map of how we experience and relate to family, and certain houses and planetary placements are particularly significant. The fourth house is your family's cosmic fingerprints in your chart. This house represents your roots, your ancestry, your early childhood environment, and the emotional foundation upon which your entire life is built. The sign on your fourth house cusp, any planets located here, and aspects to your fourth house ruler paints a detailed picture of your family dynamics. For example, if you have Scorpio on your fourth house cusp, you likely experienced intense, possibly secretive family dynamics. There may have been power struggles, hidden emotions, or transformative experiences that shaped your sense of security. Then you have the moon, your emotional blueprint for your mom. So your moon sign and house placement reveal how you experienced nurturing or the lack thereof in your early years. This is often connected to your relationship with your mother or primary caregiver, but it goes deeper than that. Your moon sign shows your emotional needs and how you learned to get them met within your family system. A Capricorn moon, for instance, might indicate you learned early that love came through achievements, or that emotions were something to be controlled rather than expressed. If your moon is heavily aspected by Saturn, you might have experienced emotional restriction or felt responsible for others' feelings from a young age. The sun and your relationship with father figures. So while the moon represents the maternal principle, the sun often correlates with father figures and authority. Challenging aspects to your sun can reveal wounds around self-worth, recognition, or feeling unseen by paternal figures. A Sun-Neptune square might indicate confusion around father figures, perhaps an absent father, addiction issues, or feeling like you could never quite pin down who your father really was behind the mask he wore. The 10th house, so authority and achievement wounds. The 10th house shows how your family influenced your relationship with authority, success, and public recognition. Difficult aspects here can indicate family messages about achievements, either pressure to succeed or messages that you're not quite capable of success. The 12th house, which is the hidden family secrets and ancestral patterns. So the 12th house is where family secrets live. Planets here, especially personal planets, can indicate patterns or traumas that were hidden, denied, or passed down unconsciously through generations. This is where addiction patterns, mental health issues, or spiritual gifts and wounds often hide. Saturn aspects, so the strict teacher of family lessons. Saturn aspects to personal planets, so your Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, or Mars, often indicate where you felt restricted, criticized, or forced to grow up too quickly within your family dynamic. But remember, Saturn isn't just the harsh teacher, it's also showing you where your greatest strength and mastery can be developed through working with these challenges. Then Chiron, the family's wounded healer. Chiron's placement in your chart shows your deepest wounds, but also your greatest potential for healing, not just yourself but others. When Chiron is prominent in family-related houses, so the 4th house, the 8th house, and the 12th house, or aspects family-related planets, it points to generational wounds that you're here to heal and transform. So now we look at understanding karmic family contracts. Now that we understand where family wounds show up in the chart, let's explore the deeper why behind these patterns. From a karmic perspective, we don't just randomly end up in families. We choose them at a soul level to learn specific lessons and heal particular wounds. So we look at the North and the South Node, your soul's family journey. Your lunar nodes reveal the karmic story you're living in this lifetime. The South Node shows gifts you've brought from past lives, but also patterns you can get stuck in. The North Node shows the growth direction your soul is being called toward. When your nodes are in family-oriented signs or houses, or when they aspect family planets, it reveals that significant soul growth is meant to happen through family relationships. So for example, if you have a Cancer South Node, you might be here to learn healthy boundaries around family and emotional caretaking. You're naturally gifted at nurturing others, but your soul's growth comes through developing the opposite Capricorn North Node qualities. So healthy structure, personal authority, and not losing yourself in others' emotional needs. Then we look at synastry and composite charts, the dance between family members. So while your birth chart shows your experience of family, synastry, which is comparing charts, and composite charts, which is blending charts, reveal the actual energetic dynamics between family members. Often you'll find that family members have significant planetary contacts. Maybe your Venus conjuncts your mother's Mars, creating both love and conflict around values and action. Or perhaps your Saturn squares your sibling's Sun, indicating you play a teaching or restricting role in their self-expression. These aspects aren't just coincidences. They're cosmic contracts you've made to help each other grow, even when, or especially when, the growth feels challenging. So now let's look at generational patterns, how trauma and gifts pass down. Astrology reveals how certain patterns repeat through family lines. Often you'll see similar planetary aspects or house emphases repeating across generations. The grandmother with a Saturn Venus square who struggled with self-worth in relationships. The mother with the same aspect who repeated the pattern. And then you, born with the same aspect but potentially the awareness to finally heal and transform that lineage wound. Then the 8th house, this is the inherited emotional and material legacy. The 8th house shows what you've inherited from your family line, not just money or property, but emotional patterns, psychic abilities, and sometimes trauma. Planets in the 8th house or aspects to the 8th house ruler can reveal these deeper inherited patterns. Then the Pluto aspects, which is transformation through family crisis. So Pluto aspects to personal planets often indicate that transformation and healing will come through intense family experiences. These can be challenging. Pluto doesn't do anything halfway, but they're also incredibly powerful opportunities for breaking generational patterns once and for all. Now let's look at some practical healing techniques. Understanding your family patterns astrologically is powerful, but knowledge without action doesn't create healing. Let's explore practical techniques for using this cosmic insight to create real transformation. So technique 1, planetary dialogue journaling. Choose a planet that's significantly involved in your family patterns. Let's say your moon in Scorpio in the 4th house with a square to Saturn. Set aside quiet time and write a dialogue between your moon and Saturn. Let your moon voice its feelings. I feel controlled and criticized. I learned that my emotions were too intense, too much. Then let Saturn respond. I was trying to protect you by teaching you self-control. I saw how emotional intensity hurt people in our family line. This technique helps you understand the positive intention behind even challenging planetary energies and begin to integrate them more consciously. Technique 2, timeline healing with transits. So look at significant family events and what transits were happening when they occurred. This helps you understand the cosmic timing of your family lessons and often reveals that even painful events were serving a greater purpose in your soul's evolution. When you see that your parents' divorce happened during a Jupiter-Uranus conjunction to your 4th house ruler, you begin to understand it as a liberation that ultimately expanded your emotional freedom, not just the traumatic abandonment. Technique 3 is working with Chiron cycles. So Chiron has specific cycles that correlate with family healing opportunities. The Chiron square, which is around age 21, often brings up family wounds for conscious healing. The Chiron opposition, which is around age 42, often offers a chance to integrate these wounds as wisdom and step into your role as a healer. Knowing when these cycles are active helps you prepare for and work consciously with family healing opportunities. Technique 4 is ancestral altar with astrological timing. So you can create an ancestral altar and work with it during significant lunar cycles or when transits are activating your family houses. New moons are excellent for setting intentions around family healing, while full moons help you release old patterns. So place representations of the elements that are prominent in your family-related placements. If your 4th house is in a water sign, include water. If your moon is in an earth sign, include stones or crystals. Then technique 5 is the family constellation birth chart. So draw your family tree alongside the astrological aspects between family members' charts. This visual representation often reveals patterns that aren't obvious when looking at individual charts alone. You might discover that the family members you clash with most have planets that square yours, but squares create growth through creative tension. Those you feel most comfortable with might have harmonious trines, but perhaps less mutual growth. Technique 6 is rewriting family stories through your North Node. So use your North Node as a guide for consciously rewriting limiting family narratives. If your family story was, we don't trust outsiders, but your North Node is in Libra, your soul's growth comes through building bridges and creating partnerships beyond your family circle. Lastly, we have technique 7, so planetary return rituals for family healing. Your Saturn return, which is around ages 29 and then 58, and Chiron return around age 50 are powerful times for family healing work. Create rituals during these periods that honor the lessons your family has taught you, while consciously choosing which patterns you'll continue and which you'll transform. So let's take a look at transforming patterns for future generations. The most powerful aspect of healing family wounds through astrology is understanding that you're not just healing yourself, you're healing your entire ancestral line, both backward and forward through time. So firstly, it's about breaking the chain, conscious parenting with astrology. If you're a parent or planning to become one, understanding your children's birth charts in relation to your own creates opportunities for conscious parenting that can break generational patterns in real time. If you have a Capricorn moon and your child has an Aries moon, you can consciously support their need for independence and emotional spontaneity instead of unconsciously trying to restrict it based on your own conditioning. Then the healed ancestor, so changing your family's energetic legacy. From a metaphysical perspective, when you heal a generational pattern, you're not just changing your own life, you're changing the energetic signature of your entire family line. Ancestors who carried these wounds can finally find peace, and future generations inherit your healing instead of your trauma. Creating new family traditions based on astrological wisdom. So consider creating family traditions that honor everyone's astrological nature. Maybe celebrate each family member's birthday month by focusing on activities that support their sun sign's growth. Or you create family meetings during new moons to set intentions together. Teaching family members about their charts. Sharing astrological knowledge with willing family members can transform relationships dramatically. When your Scorpio sister understands that your Aquarius moon needs emotional freedom to feel loved, and you understand that her Scorpio moon needs deep emotional intimacy, you can both show love in ways that the other can actually receive it. And then the ripple effect, how your healing affects the collective. Remember that families are microcosms of larger social and cultural patterns. As you heal your family wounds, you're contributing to the healing of collective human patterns around authority, nurturing, creativity, and authentic self-expression. So let's address some common concerns. I know some of you might be thinking, this sounds like I'm blaming my family for my problems, or what if my family isn't open to this work? Let me address these important concerns. First, understanding astrological family patterns isn't about blame, it's about understanding. Your family members were operating from their own wounds and conditioning. Astrology helps you see that everyone was doing the best they could do with the consciousness they had available. Second, you don't need your family members to participate in this healing work for it to be effective. Energy is connected. As you heal and change your patterns, the family system automatically shifts to accommodate your new energy. Third, some family relationships may need boundaries rather than deeper connection. Astrology can show you when someone's energy is genuinely toxic to your well-being, and it's okay to limit contacts while still doing your healing work. And finally, remember that this is lifelong work. Family patterns took generations to develop. They won't heal overnight. Be patient with yourself and the process. Your birth chart is not just a map of your personality. It's a cosmic healing manual for your soul's deepest wounds and greatest gifts. The family you were born into wasn't a random assignment. It was a carefully chosen classroom for your soul's growth. By understanding the astrological dynamics in your family system, you become the conscious ancestor your lineage has been waiting for. You have the power to transform generations of pain into wisdom, trauma into strength, and unconscious patterns into conscious choice. The stars that were present at your birth weren't just witnessing your arrival, they were encoding you with everything you need to heal, not just for yourself, but your entire ancestral line. So here's what I want you to do. Look at your birth chart this week and identify one family pattern you're ready to heal. Start with just one. Use the techniques we've discussed and trust that as you begin this work, the universe will support your healing journey. So if this video resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Cosmic Blueprints Astrology for more deep dive astrological content. Share this with anyone who might benefit from understanding their family dynamics through a cosmic lens. In the comments, let me know what's one family pattern you've identified in your birth chart. Remember, you are not just healing yourself, you are healing the world. One family pattern at a time. The cosmos is supporting your transformation every step of the way. So until next time, keep well, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.